WN, Chapter 29, Cripple. Harder, push it deeper inside me. Su-Yang pressed his fingers into her back with a bit more intensity, and the girl on his bed released a powerful moan filled with gratification that echoed a few times within the room. Su-Yang gently removed his hands from her back and distanced himself from her. "We are done here," he said to her in a slightly exhausted tone. After spending the remainder of the day to treat the 25 girls that Li Xiaomo had sent to his house, Su-Yang was feeling as though he had just fought against some powerful beast. Unlike previously when he was not required to exert any real effort into his techniques because outer court disciples had low cultivation bases, Su-Yang had to use his profound qi in order to make these inner court disciples satisfied because of their superior cultivation base. The way Su-Yang's techniques work was not just because of his godly movements but also how he profoundly uses his profound qi to massage places he cannot physically touch, hence why the girls would feel pleasure all over their body despite their back being the only place Su-Yang had touched. And if the girls had a cultivation base superior to his, then he would have to increase the usage of his profound qi, as it would only be more difficult to explore their bodies with his inferior profound qi. "Su-Yang," the girl on his bed suddenly called out to him in an exhausted voice. "Your partner must be the most blissful girl under heaven. I am envious," she sighed. Su-Yang showed a bitter smile at her words. "My partners, while every partner he's had in his previous life was most definitely blissful when he was in their life, it was not as if they did not have any sorrow. In fact, they probably have had experienced more sorrow than happiness after meeting Su-Yang. Didn't you know? I have no partners right now," Su-Yang casually said to the inner court disciple, dumbfounding her. "What? You have no partner? With your ability to satisfy girls being this profound, I wouldn't be surprised if you had every outer court female disciple as your partner." The name, Su-Yang, was only popular within the outer court disciples, hence why the inner court disciple had no idea about Su-Yang's background within the sect. "I may be able to satisfy others, but what use am I if I am unable to cultivate with them?" "What do you mean by that?" asked the inner court disciple with a puzzled frown. Su-Yang pointed to the crotch area and smiled. "It's crippled." The inner court disciple's jaw dropped from shock the moment Su-Yang revealed the truth about his little brother being crippled. While it was widely known within the outer court that Su-Yang was crippled down there, it was never really proven to be true. "You're a cripple?" The inner court disciple couldn't believe it. She didn't dare to believe that someone as perfect as Su-Yang would have such a flaw. Furthermore, it was a flaw that could be considered men's worst nightmare. Perhaps the heavens were jealous of Su-Yang's heaven-defying talent, hence why they only allowed him to satisfy others but not himself. The inner court disciple felt heartbroken not only for Su-Yang but also for every female in this world. "But why are you still in this sect if you cannot cultivate? Unlike normal sects where it won't matter, being crippled down there means you would not be of any use in this sect where dual cultivation means everything." The inner court disciple had her suspicions. Su-Yang shrugged. "Who knows what the sect is thinking, but I have never been bothered by them." Who would have thought that such a man would be? This is a huge upset for the world. The inner court disciple sighed loudly. After a moment of silence, she suddenly said, "Don't worry, Su-Yang. Even if you were a cripple and cannot cultivate, I wouldn't mind being your partner." Su-Yang smiled at her offer, but he shook his head regardless. "I may be a cripple right now, but who said anything about it being useless forever?" The girl's eyes widened at his word, seemingly speechless. She then smiled a moment later and said sheepishly, "Then, if you manage to heal, let's cultivate together someday, okay?" Su-Yang chuckled and said, "There will be a queue, you know. If you are this good with your hands, then I am willing to wait forever to experience that," she said with a blush. A few minutes later, the last customer for the day left Su-Yang's house in satisfaction, feeling as though she'd been reborn. Su-Yang directly sat down to cultivate afterward, absorbing the lingering yin-qi within the room. Early in the morning, Su-Yang stopped his cultivation and prepared to head to the White Pearl Treasury. 10,000 premium points, Su-Yang confirmed and left the house in a bright mood. When he arrived at the White Pearl Treasury, the same old man he saw last week sat behind the desk. You're that disciple who wanted the Pyongyang flower." The old man recognized Su-Yang the instant he saw his handsome face. "If you're just here to annoy me, then you can turn around." Su-Yang approached the old man's desk with a smile, and he placed a jade slip on top of the desk, causing the old man to look at him with a surprised expression. 10,000 premium points for the Pyongyang flower. The old man looked at Su-Yang with a bewildered expression, seemingly in disbelief. You actually managed to obtain 10,000 premium points in 10 days? Impossible. The old man swiftly grabbed the jade slip to check its contents. And when he confirmed that there was exactly 10,000 premium points inside, his heart nearly jumped out of his throat from shock. What in the name of heavens did you do to get this much in such a short period of time? Because the old man rarely left White Pearl Treasury, he did not know of Su-Yang's little massage business. "Just a few things," Su-Yang answered casually, and he continued, "What about the Pyongyang flower? I need it as soon as possible." The old man turned silent and stared at him with narrowed eyes, seemingly in deep thoughts. "All right, wait here for a moment while I get you the Pyongyang flower," sighed the old man as he disappeared into the room behind him. A few minutes later, the old man returned with a red wooden box in his grasp. Here's your pure yang flower. Thank you. Su Yang felt some resistance when he grabbed the wooden box from him. Young man, what do you plan on doing with that thing? The old man asked him after reluctantly giving him the wooden box. Cultivate. Su Yang gave him a simple answer, which only astonished the old man even more. A mere elementary spirit realm disciple, yet you want to use the red devil flower to cultivate? There are easier ways to court death, you know? As crazy as Su Yang looked, the old man did not believe that he would spend so much effort and resource just to kill himself. However, he has no idea what someone at the elementary spirit realm could possibly do with a pure yang flower that has killed even experts at the earth spirit realm. What's your name? Su Yang. Su Yang, huh? Well, try not to make too much of a mess. I'd feel pity for whoever has to clean your mess after you explode to death. Su Yang smiled at the old man's words, but he didn't say anything and walked out the door. After Su Yang left the place, the old man closed the white pearl treasury, something that rarely happens, and he went directly to the Yin Yang Pavilion, where the profound Blossom sect's patriarch and matriarch resided.